Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Ripple partner Instarim is enabling B2B payments into China. I'll be covering that for you. Have you heard, separately, that SBI CEO Yoshitaka Kitao has stated that XRP will be worth $10 each in the blink of an eye? Have you heard this? Or any sort of claim to that effect? Well, there's been some false information put out there, Photoshop tweets, and there's I can tell you exactly where it originated too, and that's why I want to cover this for you. But there is no claim from Yoshitaka Kitao about XRP ever reaching $10. So I'll explain what I mean by that. But I'm sure that lots of you listening to this know what I'm referencing here. And also, there's a story, and this is pretty much non-XRP related. I'll save it for the end of the video as a result. But there's somebody out there that's stating, it's in a Daily Hodl article, that altcoins, they're really, of course, asymmetrical bets, but they haven't been really offering great returns as of late. So I want to share some of that with you and tell you some of my thoughts. Before we get going, though, if you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you are a fan of Ripple and XRP, subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. It is the prudent thing to do. So here's a tweet from Dan Rocky. Instarim also runs on RippleNet. Ripple is paving the way for all these new fintech companies, and the majority is using RippleNet. Ripple provide the infrastructure. Efficient infrastructure stays in place for many years, now with one more corridor to China. And so this piece is from XRPRightNow.com with the piece titled Instarim Enables Business-to-Business Payments into China. Ripple partner Instarim has enabled B2B payments into China as first reported by Business Insider and also tweeted out by @MatthewLINY. Instarim, which most people do not know is short for instant remittances, is a fintech startup company which is headquartered in Singapore, offers digital cross-border money transfer to individuals and businesses. Currently, Instarim is focused mainly on Asia. Since starting operations in August 2015, Instarim is serving 150 corridors with a staff of around 100 people globally. Man, that's growing fast. 4 years, and they're already got 150 corridors. 100 people globally. That's fast growth, man. Instarim, first year of operation, Instarim managed to gain 8% of remittances. 8% remittance market share in Australia to India corridor. Instarim is a Singapore-headquartered cross-border payments company. Founded in 2014, Instarim is licensed as a money services business in Singapore, Hong Kong, Australia, USA, Lithuania, Canada, India, and Malaysia. Instarim powers local payments to more than 60 countries and 3.2 billion people across the globe. Instarim has created a unique payment mesh in Asia, which is being leveraged by financial institutions, SMEs, and individuals to make fast, low-cost cross-border payments. The company has also developed Instarim MassPay, a product for managing bulk payments to multiple beneficiaries in multiple currencies. Singapore was the world's 15th largest importer in 2017 at $328 billion, with $42.6 billion of imports, from which coming from China. In September 2017, Instarim received regulatory approval from the Reserve Bank of India for facilitating overseas remittances from India. Now here's the part where I want to talk about Ripple and the integration with them. Ripple partnered with Instarim back in February of 2018. Instarim is Southeast Asia leading digital cross-border money transfer service provider and did announce that they will be using RippleNet for their member in Southeast Asia. RippleNet is Ripple's global network of banks and other financial institutions, which provides real-time messaging, clearing, and settlement of financial transactions. And of course, we're aware of that part. The fascinating part, especially as this all pertains to China, is, from a regulatory perspective, of course, Xcurrent, green light. XRapid, maybe not so much green light, but what I love when I see these corridors getting laid out here is even if it takes time, a lot of time passing, especially for regulatory hurdles that are in play currently, every single X current customer is a potential X Rapid customer. So let me continue reading now. The new partnership will allow RippleNet to offer their corporate and small medium enterprise customers quick and hassle-free payouts to a number of destinations in the region. A co-founder and CEO of Instarim said, "We are pleased with this new partnership with Ripple, which will see RippleNet members utilizing Instarim's unique payments mesh we have developed in Southeast Asia to further streamline payment processes." Now, to further add on to the statement, Patrick Griffin, head of business development at Ripple, chimed in and said, quote, "Whether it's a teacher in Singapore sending money to his family in Thailand, or a small business owner in India trying to move money to open up a second store in another country, it's imperative that we connect the world's financial institutions into a payment system that works for customers, not against them." And so it's just another example of the entire infrastructure as Ripple is having it built. It's just another example of the infrastructure being built out. Next piece here that I wanted to cover for you, and I'm glad that Galgatron is actually the one that brought this up. Again, this goes completely back, and for those of you that don't know, I'm sure a lot of you are aware, there have been tweets going all over the place referencing something that allegedly Yoshitaka Kitao said. Yoshitaka Kitao being the CEO of SBI Holdings over in Japan. And there's this misunderstanding that he tweeted something out stating that XRP is going to be $10. Some people said it would be $10 in a blink of an eye and all this and that. And so Galgatron tweeted this out today, and I'm going to run through everything with you to straighten this out because all these claims, they're actually not true. And here's a quote now from Galgatron. "When we do it, it will be number one in the blink of an eye so quickly, so even if a tremendous number of customers come, we can build a system that can bear the workload." Kitao never said XRP or $10 in the blink of an eye. He was always talking about the SBI exchange, so SBI virtual currencies. So he's talking, and that part he did say the blink of an eye. There was a blink of an eye statement. That's how it was translated anyway. So I'm assuming that's accurate. You know, I speak one language, or two if you count gibberish. So there's that, but again, nothing about $10 in the blink of an eye. Okay. And so if you scroll down here, there's somebody named Nick wrote, is there a way to monitor the volume of SBI Exchange? Galvatron wrote, haven't tried, but surely their exchange site would provide this. It's actually not exactly what I want to cover. Maybe it's down further. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I think there we go. I need to go down a little further. Sorry, guys. Somebody named Stuart Hill tweeted this out, and there's a screen capture. So the screen capture is allegedly from Yoshitaka Kitao, and it states, "XRP is already $10. I just have to press button!" Exclamation point. SBI will kill competition. Okay, so Stuart Hill wrote, including that picture, "Here's the tweet many relied on. Is it photoshopped? It is easy enough to find out. Someone emailed it to me a while back, and if it's phony, I'd like to find out, but if not, I am going to find out as well. Stuff like this is not good for XRP." And somebody named Corey Heinen responded, "Photoshopped." Galgatron responded, "Absolute fake. I challenge anybody to find the original tweet." And Corey responded to that, yup. Okay. And then somebody named Jake's on a Mission wrote, "I'm pretty sure he did make the $10 claim in 2017, though. Could be wrong, but that's in my dusty vault. Not about the search for proof. Effort, meh." Yeah, so he says he's not about to search for the proof of it because it's effort, and then he goes, meh. It's good. I can respect that. So anyway, Galgatron tweeted this out, and let me click on this so you can see where this is coming from. I believe this is what I wanted to show you. Here you go, yeah. Somebody named Felix, I don't even know. It's at ALEZAN111. Okay. They wrote, "I think this is also where the confusion comes from." And this is a retweet of something that Yoshitaka Kitao did send out. Here you go. This is where it really came from. So Yoshitaka Kitao did tweet this out. $10 per Ripple XRP and its bug bounty program. However, here's what's important. This is not Yoshitaka Kitao stating that XRP was going to $10. He's referencing an article. And did I open it up? I'm not sure if I did. Here, let me click on this. Ethereum World News. Here you go. You can see it. Literally just here's the title of the piece from March 24th, 2018. $10 per Ripple XRP and its bug bounty program. This is not, absolutely, emphatically, I must state, not Yoshitaka Kitao stating that XRP is going to $10. I can see how people could misunderstand that. I can see how others would want it to be portrayed as if that is what he was stating. That would be misleading. So I hope this is helping clear it up for some of the people that have been hearing this bandied about on social media. It's just not the case there. All right. Next, is this... yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Here we go. This is so next piece here. Somebody named Tipsy Tiger tweeted this out. FSA classification for XRP is reading as exchange token classification and therefore fall outside of the regulatory parameter. Read page 914. The USA needs to get its house in order. And so Galvatron tweeted this out, and then I'll get into what I want to share with you here. I believe these classifications apply to the manner of use, which means for, and the referencing XRP, or cryptocurrency, which means for certain scenarios, XRP is an exchange coin, in other scenarios, a utility coin. Each transaction will be independently classed and regulated accordingly. All right, and then Tipsy Tiger responded, I agree, XRP expanding with use case. It may well fit into different multiple classifications, or the FCA may alter/add to classifications to keep up with an evolving market. But based on Ripple's current use case, cross-border payments, it fits in the non-regulated category. And for me, is an exchange token/coin. But again, this is based on the current primary use case. Did you see this Galvatron? This was also the FCA document today. And by the way, I covered this. What's on the screen here, I'll click on it so you can see it full screen here. There was a case study. It's basically an example of what a case study would be regarding, and really what it described here, it's an XRapid transaction. That's actually what it is. But this is all in the context of what would a coin be associated with, or if it's associated in this capacity with banks moving money around the world, what would it be classified as? And that's where this comes from. So I already covered that piece. Galvatron responded to that. Yep, saw it. The cross-border payments paradigm bridging with currency may have been introduced by Ripple, but it will be a hot area of competition. And so the truth of the matter is, coins, since they can have multiple use cases, this is what makes it tough. You can have a utility coin, but what if somebody else is using what you're calling a utility coin as a currency? Because normally these things are completely separate. Either it's something that has utility, it's an asset in that sense, or it's a currency. There's so much overlap thanks to this new technology, and this is why everybody's having trouble figuring this all out. Anyway, all right. Next piece. This is from Research Omega. Between December 25th, 2018 and February 18th, 2019, the daily XRP exchange volume was under USD 1 billion every single day. Between May 10th, 2019 and July 27th, 2019, the daily XRP exchange volume was over 1 billion United States dollars every single day. And just for the fun of it, I went ahead and pulled up CoinMarketCap. There's a link to it. And you can see that that's factually true. Now, we'll see the trend now. It did dip below since then. But what you're going to find as time keeps passing is that these numbers are going to look like nothing. Not just in terms of volume, but I also suspect in terms of XRP price, which is not financial advice, by the way. But I think XRP is going to be worth substantially more than it is today in the future. Next piece here. Oh, yeah, here we go. So this is from the Crypto Man. He writes, I'm off on holiday for a week on Wednesday. Last shipping date is Tuesday. If you need to get orders out now. And you can see what he's referencing here. There's a picture of it. There's this, it's a framed picture. I'm not sure if it comes framed, but you can see, and if this is the one that I'm thinking of, I saw this on a different day, but it's basically a bunch of little images that if you look together, if you look real close, you can see there's little individual images, but when you step back, you can see that it's the Montgomery Street sign, which is where Ripple's headquartered right there in California, San Francisco right there. Cool piece. So I wanted to highlight that because it looks snazzy, and if you want one, go ahead and get in touch with the Crypto Man. Maybe it'll look good on your wall. All right, there's a tweet from XRP Dog. Ignoring the banks and regulations, imagine the impact on the price of XRP when it reaches that critical mass point of people realizing it's more cost-effective to use and hold their XRP instead of converting it back to fiat, as it can do everything they need and more quicker. And conceptually, I've always found this interesting. Could XRP reach such a price and develop the infrastructure built out in such a way that by the time you think you might have wanted to sell XRP, that you can just use it in place of fiat currencies anyway? Well, I personally don't think that the United States dollar is likely to go away within my lifetime anyway. But conceptually, I think it's fun to ponder this. Who is pushing for XRP to be used as money? Is it a good idea to have a deflationary asset used as an actual currency? You know, these are these are valid questions here. I don't really see. I mean, there's We'd Say When and XRPL Labs, and they've been working on an app where you can actually spend XRP, but we are nowhere near any cryptocurrency on the planet being utilized as actual currency. The way that I see this, though, is that we're going to be in a very liquid world in the future where you can exchange anything for anything, whether something is traditionally a currency or an asset or maybe it's real estate. You should be, as everything's tokenized. That's why I see the world going. Everything will be tokenized. You'll be able to get in and out of anything very quickly, which means it starts to blur the line of asset classes, but you can start to use anything, in theory, if the infrastructure is built out, as money. And that's why conceptually this is all fascinating to me. And we'll just have to see where it goes. Take that for what it's worth anyway. Here's a piece from the Daily Hodl titled, Crypto Analyst Alex Kruger, Altcoins Have Become Asymmetric Bets with Unattractive Return Profile. Economist and crypto analyst Alex Kruger says Bitcoin looks like a stronger bet than ever when compared to the vast majority of the altcoin market. Kruger notes that most altcoins have struggled to keep pace with Bitcoin in 2019, as Bitcoin's dominance swelled from 51% on January 1st to its current level of 66%, according to the latest data from CoinMarketCap at time of publishing. And here's a quote now. Most alts have become asymmetric bets with an unattractive return profile, as alts consistently underperform Bitcoin on down days and only sometimes outperform Bitcoin on up days. The analysis aligns with a new report from Coinmetrics, which notes the struggle altcoins have faced in the last month. And here's another quote. Although asset prices are substantially higher than the lows reached earlier this year, compared to Bitcoin, most assets have participated less strongly on the upside and more strongly on the downside. And admittedly, we have seen some of that with XRP as well. The quote continues, over the past month, almost all assets have experienced a steep correction in price, with some major assets down over 40%. During this volatile period of price discovery, Bitcoin has remained nearly unchanged, with a decline of only 2% in the same period. Okay, and states, although the altcoin market is historically tied to the price of Bitcoin, it's long been notoriously difficult to predict when altcoins will rise in, especially during periods of heightened Bitcoin volatility. When Bitcoin is pumping, altcoins often drop as traders move their assets to Bitcoin, and when the price of Bitcoin dips, altcoins tend to drop some more. Okay, fair point, but eventually, historically, there has always been an altcoin rally, and the question is, will that be different this time? I'm not willing to make that bet. I'm not going to state definitively one way or another because I still think utility matters, and the way I've parsed this out in the past is just by stating that in terms of potential parabolic price action, if institutional players come in and if they're the catalyst for the next major run, you better bet that most of these coins are going away. Not that they'd literally stop existing, but money's not going to be put into them, and you'd think ultimately that would lead to them being delisted on exchanges, which functionally will lead them to be extinct. If it's going to be a retail-led rally, then I still believe that a lot of these coins just aren't going away. They still exist. It seems like retailers still are not ready to say, no, these are duds and not going anywhere. And right now, it just seems to me, and David Schwartz, XRP creator David Schwartz, has made this point too. It's just the market doesn't seem to be willing to parse out individual coins. They just move collectively at this point. So really what that means is you're going to need more time to pass to figure out who the market really believes the winners and losers are. Until then, it's almost like if you remember, if you were here in 2017, you could have purchased any coin in the months leading up towards the end of the year, and you would have 12x to your investment at some point before it crashed back down, of course. And so that just comes down to the fact that people were betting not on really so much on the individual products. People were throwing money in everywhere in a frenzy, not really knowing what would have staying power. I don't know that humans are done with that type of irrational behavior. I don't know, because look, all these exist. And we're at the point where historically it would make sense and I've shown charts on this before, so I'm not going to rehash the concept behind it, but we've shown charts that show it's time for an altcoin rally. Basically, it's primed. It doesn't mean literally today, tomorrow, a week, or a month, or whatever. But in terms of dominance, every time you see Bitcoin dominance get this high, it would lead to ultimately like a flip. It's the inverse reaction where the Bitcoin dominance goes down and altcoin dominance goes up. And so, if it doesn't happen, this would be the first time in the last decade that it has not. And so, I'm not ready to predict. If I have to guess. I'm not a guy to make price predictions, so I'm not going to talk about that. But do I think there's going to be an altcoin run? Probably at some point. I'm not going to say that definitively, but I think that sounds much more likely than not. Especially since I don't see that the catalyst for the next run will purely be massive amounts of institutional funds coming in. Because I do believe that institutional money will invest and behave very differently than the retail investors that came in 2017 in particular. So anyway, that's all I got in this video. Thank you so much for watching. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say, all right? So that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!